Welcome back to Statesman.com and another edition of the High School Blitz. I'm Danny Davis. This is Rick Cantu. Rick, it's time to do our 4 previews for the week. It seems like every week in this video we're starting off at House Park on a Thursday, and that's no different this week because that's where Hutto and McCallum will be. Last year's game was a little bit of a blowout, if you consider 48-0 a blowout in favor of Hutto. What do you think is going to happen this year?
Well, first of all, McCallum had a nice bounce-back win this week. They beat Lehman 26-14. With that said, and Hutto losing, I was surprised they lost to Waco La Vega like they did. I think Hutto has more firepower, but they're going to have to rely on more than just Tyler Herrick. Tyler had about 90% of their offensive yards rushing and passing. I think that they do have probably more pieces than McCallum, but Hutto's got to find a way to distribute the football more. But I'm going to go with Hutto.
I'm going to go with McCallum if you consider that an upset. I think they're
nothing.
I think they're
victory.
I think they're going to want to win one at their home field after that Taco Shack Bowl loss in Week 1. But Max Perez is kind of settling in pretty nicely at the quarterback position, and JoJo Hardaway has stepped up what was a kind of vacant running back slot. So I like the way they're playing on offense. I really like the way they're playing on defense. They've held 2 6A offenses to 42 points in Week 1 and Week 2. Anderson and Lehman don't have Tyler Herrick, who's probably one of the area's best quarterbacks, but I think that McCallum's going to be able to shut him down, and I think they're going to win a close one. Let's go over to House Park again on Friday night. We got Westlake, we got Anderson, both teams 2-0. Anderson's looking to make a really big statement. Will they make it?
I think they'll make a statement, but I don't think they'll win the game. I think the statement is that they're going to hang with Westlake. Last year at this time, they lost 48-7 to the same Westlake team, and both teams have improved this year. So as much as Anderson has improved behind the new quarterback, Genuine Garza, Westlake still has Sam Ellinger and a lot of more weapons. So I see Westlake winning by about 2 touchdowns, and they've got a new running back, Isaiah Foz. Remember that name, Foz, F-A-Z. He's a zipper, he can run fast, he's a sophomore, and he's going to help that offense come back to life.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Westlake too. I just talked about McCallum's defense. Westlake's defense has been very good this season. Held South Lake Hare to 14. Last week held Temple to 17. Matt Kelly, Max Magnum, Levi Jones, some pretty good defensive players there. The defensive coaches are doing a good job, and I just think they're going to be able to shut down Anderson. Although I think Anderson's going to make some strides and probably won't be the same score as last year, but I think Westlake wins this one rather comfortably. Let's go to Regents High. We got a small school. We have a private school matchup. St. Andrews, Regents. St. Andrews can probably walk over to Regents. Who wins this one?
Well, it's really not a home field advantage when you consider how close they are. I'm going to go with the Regents. Both of them have lost games this year, but when I think of Regents, I think of their coach first, Beck Bryden. He might be the best unknown coach in this whole area. He's won 44-42 in his tenure at Regents High School. And I've always liked the way his teams play ever since they were a 6-man team. I think they've got more weapons than St. Andrews. I'm going to pick a Regents win.
Yeah, Regents has won the last 4 in the series, and the last 4 games have not been close. But I'm going to go with the Crusaders. I like their quarterback, Evan Marshman. Cole Baker is a really underrated running back and linebacker, does things on both sides of the ball for them. And then Blaze Herman, who may be my favorite name. He's a wide receiver, and I think Blaze is an appropriate name. He has 10 catches this year, kind of is Marshman's top target, and I think they're going to connect a few times and squeak out a win and head back that mile drive back to St. Andrews with a victory. Final game, we got Rouse, we got Leander. Rouse is looking for their first win, but as we said in the recap video earlier this week, they were leading Cedar Park at halftime. Leander is coming off their first victory since 2013. What happens in this one?
This is the game that I've been flip-flopping ever since we figured out we were going to talk about this game. Leander, they come up with that emotional victory against Pflugerville, their longtime rival. And Rouse, they stumbled twice now, but they were leading Cedar Park. And did you know that the #1 team in the state, Cedar Park, has trailed at halftime in both of their games this year and come back in the second half with big romps? I'm going to go with Rouse. I don't know why. I just have a feeling that they got something going. They got some momentum. They got some confidence from playing Cedar Park that closely. I just think they're going to win a nail-biter.
I'm going to go with Leander. I think they have some momentum after last week's emotional win. I was at that game, and those kids were I mean, it was emotion, it was glee, it was a crazy scene down there. But people should be happy about that defense. They forced 6 turnovers against Pflugerville, and probably one of their best defensive players, Matthew Long, who's a linebacker, they're depending on him on offense now too. Coach Smith says he wants him to touch the ball 10 to 15 times on offense. He had 93 rushing yards and a touchdown all in the second half last week and really gave their offense a boost. So that's a name to watch out for in that game, and I'm going to go with the Lions.
Good deal.
All right, those are our picks for the week. Be sure to check us out on statesman.com to see how we did, and we'll be back next week.